Mr. Brindisi?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Building on some of the questions regarding investments in information technology, I'm particularly concerned about DoD keeping pace. Hi. Keeping pace with China in terms of our investment in information technology, specifically quantum sciences. It's been fairly well documented that information warfare is a core strength of the People's Liberation Army, and in recent years, China has aggressively invested and increased the pace of its quantum research. It's been publicly reported that China has surpassed the United States in many areas of quantum research, which is deeply troubling because there's no doubt that early adopters of quantum technologies will gain significant military advantages. For example, quantum computing could be used for more effective artificial intelligence algorithms, highly secure encryption of communications to defend against hacking, and accurate navigation that does not require GPS signals. So, Secretary Flournoy, I'm worried that we are slightly slow to fully recognize the massive importance of quantum technologies and invest accordingly. Do you feel we are investing adequate resources fast enough in order to keep pace with China regarding quantum information science research?
I'll say I have not looked at this at the level of detail that I can definitively answer that question, but I do think this is an area where we absolutely must compete. I think DoD, using its own research and development monies, has a role to play, but I also think we need to be using things like tax incentives and civilian R&D, university research R&D, to try to pull more effort from both universities and the private sector into this area, because I agree with your assessment. It's absolutely critical that this is an area where we keep our edge.
Any other?
Yeah, I would add, quantum is really hard. I think there's a general perception, when you look at these key technologies that are identified in the NDS, they're all important. Some of them are much more near term than others. And I would probably say of those, quantum is more of a reach than some of the others. Having said that, I also think in that respect, DoD's role here could be larger, because I think it's going to take some time for the VC sector and others to really see the kind of return on investment they're looking for in these technologies. So there's an opportunity for DoD to take a leadership role and shape the development of the technology globally and in the United States. And that's something we should seize on. That doesn't necessarily require a massive investment of dollars, but it does involve, a commitment and having a clearly identified research community within the United States with DoD involvement to push forward on that.
I would just say that I wish my 15-year-old grandson was here, because he is really into quantum. I don't understand what he's talking about. But no, seriously.
Maybe he can educate me,
that
too.
Really is. I was a history major. Give me a break.
Me too.
But the reality is, this really is something that China is putting an incredible amount of effort into. And so they see great advantages to taking the lead in this. So this is one that I think that we definitely do not want to find ourselves behind the power curve.
I know you mentioned the NDS. The 2018 National Defense Strategy outlines that we must prioritize research and development of emerging technologies like quantum science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. China seems to have taken a much more whole-of-society approach than we are. China's military-civil fusion program seeks to explicitly foster ties between the military and civilian enterprises in order to improve military technology, drive innovation, and foster economic growth. China is showing a clear commitment to investing heavily in game-changing technologies like AI, machine learning, quantum computing. And while I'm encouraged by recent steps in the right direction that we've taken, I also believe that the United States needs to double down on its commitment to develop these technologies before our adversaries. Mr. Hunter, part of my reason for my amendment to create a new Quantum Information Sciences Innovation Center in this year's NDAA was to foster these collaborative relationships in order to accelerate quantum research. Do you believe there's an adequate amount of collaboration on the research and development of quantum AI and machine learning technologies across the different departments, industry and academia currently?
I would want to maybe distinguish between quantum and AI in that. I think There's more we can and should be doing in AI. On quantum, I think we have been pretty proactive, but by we, I mean the U.S. government and the Department of Defense has been pretty proactive, working with the key industry players and being aware. That doesn't mean we should stop or that we don't need, and then I would also add the international piece to this because, the Australians have quite a bit of capability with quantum, and we can leverage our alliances there to help as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.